A very good morning to all of you. This is Mr. Kushaba Saranke, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Vasantdada Patil Arts, Commerce and Science College, Patoda. So friends, today we are going to discuss one of the important topics of grammar, that is noun and gender. As you know that in the last lecture, we have discussed parts of speech in brief. We had focused on parts of speech in short in the last lecture, but in this video I am going to discuss one of the parts of speech, that is noun, and the topic gender comes under the noun. So let us begin. So let us go with the definition of the noun. In the last lecture we have also discussed the definition and types of nouns. So you may know that the name of person, thing or place can be called a noun. If we want to utter the name of any person around us or thing around us or any places around us, that can be called a noun. Okay, so while going ahead, we can say that noun has two main subtypes. So noun is divided into two main topics or two main parts or two main subtypes. First one is concrete noun and second one is abstract noun. So the question comes in our mind that what is concrete noun? So things which can be seen or touched or which have physical existence or things which we can see by our eyes can be called concrete noun. For example, boy, table, tree or Ganesh or Himalaya. All these names of any places, things or person, they can be called concrete noun. And second one, abstract noun. What is an abstract noun? Things which can't be seen or touched, or the things which do not have any physical existence, only the things which we can feel them, that is called abstract noun. For example, air or God or honesty. These things are not seen or these things are not touched, only we feel that these things are there. For example, if we take air, we cannot see air or we cannot see God, but we know that, or we have the point in our mind that air has its existence around us, or God also has its existence around us. So the things which cannot be seen or touched, that is called abstract noun, and things which can be seen or touched, for example boy, table, tree, these nouns are called concrete noun. Okay, so while going ahead, concrete noun has four subtypes. It is also very important, you should always keep in your mind, concrete noun has four subtypes. First one is proper noun, second one is common noun, third one is collective noun, and fourth one is material noun. While studying this topic, it becomes very important to take it in our mind the types of noun. These four are types of noun, so we will discuss one by one in order to understand us. Okay, so let us think about proper noun, or let us study what is the proper noun. So see, proper noun is a particular name of person, place or thing. So if we talk about any particular person, thing or place, but that should be a particular, that type, we can say that this is a proper noun. For example, Ram. Ram is a name of particular person. Godavari. Godavari is also name of river, that is also particular. Chetan. Chetan is also name of person or any animal. Pune. Pune is also name of particular village or particular city. Parleji. Parleji, you know that Parleji is name of company of biscuit, and Everest. Everest is also, that is particular. So all these are particular. That is why all these names can be called proper nouns. Understood? So this is the proper noun. So let us think about common noun. So common noun is any class of person, thing or place. Let us understand the difference between proper noun and common noun. Proper noun is particular name of person and common noun is any class of person, thing or place. For example, mountain. I am vaguely talking about any mountains. Okay, I am not talking about a particular mountain. Or suppose I am talking about river or tree, but I am not talking about particular river. For example, Godavari. If we utter the name Godavari, that will be proper noun. And if we utter the name river or tree or chair, cow, all these names will be common noun. For example, table, bike, man, teacher, girl. These are the class of a particular person. These are not the names of particular person. Okay. Suppose if I am talking about bike, this will be common noun, and I am talking about Hero Honda bike. This will be a proper noun. Understood? So understand the difference between proper noun and common noun. It is very easy, but most of the times the questions are asked on this topic in the examination. So try to understand the difference between proper noun and common noun. Suppose if I am talking about a particular one, that can be a name of person, thing or place, that will be called proper noun. And suppose I am talking about any class of person or thing or place, that can be called common noun. Understood? So the third topic or third types of concrete noun, that is collective noun. The name collective noun reveals the definition of this type. Collective means collection. So let us see the definition. Names of persons or object of the same kind considered as a single whole. Means suppose there is any group or anything that comes collectively with us, that is called collective noun. But that group is called a single whole. Suppose there are so many elements in that group, but it always takes a singular verb. For example, crowd, for example, team, a flock of sheep. These all are the group of particular person or things, but they come as a singular, and always collective nouns uses a singular verb. So it is also very easy topic to understand. And the fourth one, material noun. Material. Try to understand the names of noun, that is proper, common, collective and material. These all words will try to discuss the definitions of these nouns. Let us see material noun. Names of material or substance. Names of material or substance out of which new things are made. Okay. So if there is any name of material or substance around us and out of which new things are made, we can call it material noun. For example, sugar. For example, cotton. Out of cotton we can make clothes. Okay. For example, gold. Out of gold we can make jewelry or any kind of ornaments. Iron, wool or stone. These are the names of materials out of which new things are made. So sugar, cotton, gold, iron, wool, stone. This can be called, or these words, these material words will be called as material noun. So students, try to understand four main types of concrete noun, that is proper, common, collective and material. In the exam, you will be asked to identify the types of noun accordingly. Okay. So Take it in your mind. These all are very important topics or important subtypes. So try to understand by this explanation. Okay. So I have given here exercise. Some sentences are given and what is the instruction? Let us see. Pick out the nouns from the underlined words from the following sentences and mention their types. You have to identify nouns or nouns are identified here, okay, by underlining these words. Okay, these underlined words are nouns. You have to mention their types. So we have seen four types of nouns out of which you have to answer them. Okay, let us see the first one. Ashoka was great emperor. Ashoka was the great emperor. So in this sentence, the word Ashoka and emperor are underlined. So you know that Ashoka, that is a particular name of a person. So that will be called proper noun. Okay. And the next word emperor. Emperor reveals the class of people. Okay. Class of people, that will be called common noun. Got it? So Ashoka is proper noun, emperor is common noun. In the second sentence, the balloon is made of rubber. In this sentence, two words are underlined. First one is balloon and second one is rubber. Okay. So it is very easy to understand or it is very easy to identify the types of noun because balloon is a substance out of, sorry, rubber is a substance out of which the balloon is made of. Okay. So the word rubber is a substance, that is why, or it is a material, that is why rubber is a material now. Okay. And balloon is also a class of thing, that is common noun. Understood? So the third sentence, adversity is the touchstone of character. In this sentence the word character is underlined, so the character is again common noun here. Okay. Fourth sentence, the boy drew the picture on his slate. In this sentence, three nouns are there. First is boy, second one is picture, and third one is slate. So, all of these three nouns are from the second type, that is common noun. Okay. Next one, Sir C.V. Raman is the Newton of India. In this sentence, two words are underlined, Sir C.V. Raman and India. You know that these two of the names are specific names of any person or thing, sorry, thing or place. Okay. Sir C.V. Raman is the name of scientist and India is the name of country. So Sir C.V. Raman is proper noun and India is again proper noun. Okay. Next one, the flock of sheep is grazing in the meadow. You might have understood the, or you might have identified the types of noun here. The flock of sheep is grazing in the meadow. The underlined word is flock of sheep. Okay. There is a group of sheep is grazing in the meadow. So here it is a group. So we can say that a flock of sheep is a collective noun. Okay. This is the exercise for your understanding, and by solving this exercise you will be able to know the types of noun very properly. Okay. So before going ahead, one of the important thing I want to mention, that is the proper noun, that is about the proper noun. In the sentence, if the proper nouns come at any place, we have to write the first letter of that proper noun in capital letter. Okay. It is also important thing in writing or in examination or for your better understanding. It should be kept in your mind. In proper noun, the first letter of that word must be written in capital letters. Understood? So try to understand, try to recollect these four types of noun. It will be very important for your examination. So here the noun topic is covered. Let us move to the another sub topic in this session, that is gender. Okay, gender. In Marathi, you know that there are three types of gender, but in English there are four types of gender. Okay, so there is a difference between Marathi grammar and English grammar. As in Marathi, there are three subtypes of gender, but in English there are four subtypes or four types of gender. Let us discuss one by one. First one is masculine gender. Okay, first one is masculine gender. Let us see what is masculine gender. All names of male animals or persons, that is called masculine gender. Or all names of male animals or persons, means the male around us, that can be animal or person, that can be called masculine gender. For example, boy. Okay, for example, king, for example, hero, for example, father, for example, lion, for example, bull, for example, dog. These all comes under the category of male. That is why these all words will be called of masculine gender. Understood? It is very easy to understand. So try to understand. Next topic or next subtype of gender is feminine gender. Okay, there is very little difference between masculine gender and feminine gender. Try to understand it. Okay, all names of female animals or persons. In masculine gender, we saw that all names of male animals and gender, all names of male animals or persons, and in feminine gender, it is all names of female animals or persons. Okay, for example, girl, queen, heroine, mother, lioness, cow, beach. These all names are female animal or person. That is why we can call this feminine gender. Understood? So these are the two types. Let us discuss about third one. Third one is common gender. Common gender. So names that can be applied to both male and female. Okay, there are some people or there are some things around us, we can apply both male and female gender to them. For example, if I say child, or if I say teacher, for example, if I say doctor. Okay, so child can be a boy or girl. Okay, teacher can be a lady or male teacher. Okay, doctor can be a lady or gents. Okay, your friend can be a boy or girl. Okay, also neighbor or servant. These all are applied, or these all words can come under the category of common gender, because we actually don't know whether they are male or female, or these words can be applied male and female gender. That is why these names are from common gender. Okay, and fourth one, neuter gender. So let us see neuter gender. All inanimate things. Inanimate means the things which do not have their lives, or the things which cannot move, or things which cannot have their existence. Okay, all inanimate things which do not have life like animal or human beings. As we know that animals or human beings have particular life, or that is why they are called animate. And here all inanimate things which do not have life like animals or human beings, they are called neuter gender. For example, meadow, chair, room, stone, or iron. These all things are inanimate and they do not have They are live like animals or human beings. That is why they are called neuter gender. So far we have seen four types of gender. First one is masculine gender, second one is feminine gender, third one is common gender, and fourth one is neuter gender. So you must have understood the definitions, you must have understood the examples of these types. So there are some tricks by which, by using these tricks, you can make the words feminine. So first, by using the separate words. If there is any masculine word and you want to form the feminine word by that word, you can use separate words. For example, king, queen, boy, girl, brother, sister, sir, madam, horse, mare, okay, cock, hen. These all are different words by which you can form the feminine words. Okay. Second trick is by adding ESS to the masculine word. If there is any masculine word and if you add ESS to that word, it forms feminine new word. For example, hair, heiress. Okay. Actor, actress. Host, hostess. Lion, lioness. Okay, poet, poetess. We have added ESS as a suffix or after the root word. If we add ESS, it becomes feminine word. Okay, third one, by adding a word indicating the sex before or after the word. Okay, if there is any masculine word and if we add the word indicating sex, that will be a feminine word. For example, the word is he goat, and if we want to form feminine word for he goat, we can write she goat, because here he indicates male sex and she indicates female sex. The another word is same. Okay. For example, landlord, landlady. Here lord indicates male sex or lady indicates female sex. Okay. Peacock, peahen. Okay. Milkman, milkmaid. Okay. All these things or all these words can be formed feminine by changing the words before or after which indicate feminine or male gender, sorry, female gender. Okay. There are some exceptions. Okay. For example, the word hero, we have to write heroine, or the word fox, we have to, while forming the feminine, we have to write vixen. For example, the word is widower as a male gender, we have to write widow for female gender. Tsar, Tsarina. For example, Sultan, Sultana. Groom, bride. These all are the exceptions. Exceptions means they do not come under any rules, or they have their different rules. Okay. Exercise. Let us see the exercise. Form the words feminine in the bracket below. I have given 4 sentences, and at the end of sentences there are particular words. They are masculine word. You have to convert these words into feminine form. For example, first word is they brought a beautiful chestnut. The word horse is in bracket, so you have to write the feminine word for horse, that is mare, M-A-R-E. Mare is feminine for horse. Okay. Next one, she remained a dash dash all her life. The word is bachelor. Bachelor is masculine word, and the feminine word for bachelor is spinster. S-P-I-N-S-T-E-R. Spinster. Okay. The spinster means the lady who never marries in her life. That is called spinster. Third sentence, my dash dash gained admission to the medical college. The word is nephew, and the word niece is feminine word for nephew. So the sentence will be, my niece gained admission to the medical college. Last sentence, we saw a dash dash in the forest yesterday. The word is bear, and the feminine word for bear is saw. S-O-W. So the sentence will be, we saw a saw in the forest yesterday. So this is the exercise. By solving these kind of exercises, you will be able to understand the topics like noun or gender. These are very simple topics to study, but as they are simple, though they are simple, they are important as well, because in examination there are few questions asked in these topics, and by studying or by watching this video you will be able to solve these questions properly. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any comments or if you have any questions, please write me in the comment box, and try watching my videos. Please like it, subscribe it, and if you like it you can share it as well. So thank you very much.